Hi there, the collective. This is Tony from the Fibrology Lab, and I decided to do a live Facebook in the collective because you guys are the ones who've been asking all sorts of questions about masks. So what I want to do with this live video is I'm going to actually save this and use it in my YouTube channel and on my Facebook page. So I'm not going to ask a lot of questions right now or answer a lot of questions right now until I get to the very end. So when you get to, if you have questions regarding masks, put them in there. Hey, Sharon. Put them in there and I will respond to them at the end because I'm going to reuse this video. So I'm going to kind of keep focused on mask making. So just bear with me as I go through because I might be able to answer some questions. So last week I had Tammy Young come to me and ask about for fabric for making masks because Tammy is a respiratory therapist and she works here at Methodist Hospital here in Oak Ridge. And they have a team of 20 people and they were told last week that they have to wear a fabric mask over the mask they already wear to extend the life of those. And in that process, we have spent the last 5-6 days finding the right mask, finding the right thing that works for her and her team, and how to get them made up quickly. And so I know one of the things I've said about masks, this is so personal to everybody. There's so much information out there. I highly recommend you do your research and look at the purpose of the mask you're making. Who's it for? If it's for medical, make sure that you're meeting the needs that they need, and that's what we're doing with Tammy. So I'm not recommending anything. I'm suggesting stuff because everything's going to be different for the purpose you're using it for. So Tammy needed a mask that would be big enough that would go over her little mask they use at the, because every client, they have to change out their mask. And Tammy's at the front lines. Her teamers, what helps, they're the ones that do the ventilations. They're the ones that do all those. Okay, I'm not a science person. But let me just say, she's the front line. Next to the doctors, the nurses up there, then in the emergency room, she's going to be the one that's going to be the one right there in the face of people with COVID-19. So we wanted to help extend them and support them first because there is such a large cry there's a desperation for masks right now in the medical field. So we're going to focus on helping her team first, and then we're going to work outwards because I've already got requests from other areas of the hospital as well. So Sarah came in this week and helped us find a great pattern. Yesterday I talked a little bit on my live video. So we found this great mask because we need a pocket. Tammy says they want to be able to put filters in to help an added layer of protection. And this mask actually has 3 layers of fabric plus the filter. It's a really good, a good mask for what the purposes are. So Sarah showed me the link of the mask pattern and a video. I'm not going to show you how to put together because I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. So at the end of this video, after the end of this live video, I'm going to put a link to that YouTube video. And that lady has done an amazing job. She sounds just like me because we just feel like there's so much information out there. But she streamlined it, and this is her mask pattern. And in the description of that video is the PDF file for you to make your own pattern. There's also an SVG file if you have anything that will take that for like a cutting, to cut fabric out or cut patterns out. So, and she has an adult size and a child size. So there's 2 different sizes. I'm going to work on the adult size personally. And yesterday Tammy was in and we were actually able to test this and put it over the mask she wears, and it worked great. So we're really excited about that. So the only thing that this mask doesn't have is a nose piece, but Tammy's got it figured out. They've got her husband's a welder, so he has a cutting tool, and they're going to put little metal pieces on so they can take them off to wash them. But we don't have to worry about that. All we need is mask. So that pattern is, again, it's free. You download it. It's going to be in a link in the comments below. And I've got just a couple tips and things that we've done to adjust it. So the first thing, it's got ties. We don't want ties. Tammy says she likes the elastic, and Sarah has made some mask extenders, I guess that's what I'm calling them. They sit on the back of your head. They got little notches in them, so the loops of the elastic fits on them, so it can be adjustable to the wearer, which are kind of cool. So we've already given Tammy 20 of those for her team, and we're going to teach Tammy how to do that on her Cricut. She has a Cricut as well. So the things what we're changing is we're going to add the elastic to the pattern. So that's basically what I've come on to because everyone wants to know how to do it. I also have 3 tips I want to share because it's very important. So tip number 1, we're quilters. We don't backstitch. We just go and go and go. Because of our processes, it gets layered on. We don't need to. This is going to be worn and taken off and washed. You know, it could be washed 3 to 5 times a week. So you want to backstitch the beginning and the end of the seam line. You want to backstitch. And then, so that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is we got curves here. So we're going to clip. So if you, I don't know if you can see that, but that's like little fringes. You want to clip really close to the seam line. Don't clip on the seam line. About 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch all the way around when you start doing all these round pieces. Because you're going to have 6 pieces, 6 pieces cut, and then you're going to sew them together and they're going to end up 3 curves. So you want to cut those up. So that's tip 2. Tip 3, we'll talk about how we're going to do the elastic. So what I done, good English today. What I have done is I've cut 2 6-inch pieces of elastic and I have put them into, so once you go through the process and turn the whole mask inside out, you're going to fold it down about 1/4 inch and press that. We'll come back this side. Once you press it, you're going to stick your elastic in about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. You want to make sure you catch it and pin it in place. And then we're going to stitch across really close to the edge of the mask. So like right here. I'm saying this because as quilters, we like 1/4 inch. Don't do a 1/4 inch seam. Do about 1/8 to whatever. Do you want really close to the edge and make sure you're catching the elastic. So tip 3 is back stitching over that elastic more than you would normally do. So when I back stitch, I go forward 3 stitches, I come back 3 stitches, and then I go forward over it again. This time I would do it like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do it. Because again, think of the process of this mask. It's going to be pulled on and washed so many times because it's for the medical field or medical personnel. So you want to make sure it's secured so it doesn't break through. So those are my tips. This is easy. The hardest part is actually doing all the cutting. So again, if you have a Cricut, I think that's a cool tool. I might have to invest in one really fast. So those are my tips to the video that I will put in the comments below. Tammy has 20 people that work in her unit. They are desperate. I think everybody has at least one, but they change out the covers every time they engage a new client. And that's, you know, when they're working with 10 to 20 people a shift, you know, their hour shifts are either 8 hours or 12 hours. That's a lot of change out a mask. So that ideally they probably all need about, I don't know, 5 to 10 a mask just to work through a shift, especially as it starts ramping up. So if we can just get them a couple, so they each have a couple now, that'd be great. If you want to donate, you can. Just let me know you're coming. I ask that you don't put them in a Ziploc bag. Put them in a plastic grocery bag. We'll drop them off, and I will wash them before I pass them on to Tammy. I think I got my notes. I think I hit everything. I think I hit everything. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll respond. I actually wanted to look at see if anybody got any questions. Nobody's got any questions yet, so that's really good. So again, watch the video because that might mention more questions. That might provoke more questions. It's a great video. She did a great job at doing up the mask herself. So that's my tip. That's my mask. I'm making over Tammy. I'm starting here with Methodist and then work my way down. Like I said, I've already got requests. I do have elastic coming in on Monday. It is on the website. You can purchase it. It will probably be sold out before Monday. My next shipment probably won't be for at least 2 to 3 weeks. And I've got a lot more coming the second shipment. And then the other thing we got to realize is this is going to be washed, you know, anywhere from 5 to 6 times a week because the medical people are using this, which means we'll be making more. They're going to wear out. So this is a long-term thing. So you're thinking, oh, everyone's rushing to make masks right now. We're going to get burnt out of it. I've already heard it. I've made so many masks. I'm burnt out of it. What I suggest is go ahead and do that mass production mask over the next couple of days if you can. I'm not expecting it. If you can do it, and then set yourself a goal. I'm only doing 3 to 5 masks a week. Because one, they're going to be ongoing. We're going to be needing it, especially for the medical people. But, you know, we want to help, but we don't want to be burnt out. So do some mass production in the next couple of days and then stop and then go back to the stash diving mystery, because that's fun. And I have a new one coming out. And then we also have our block of the month for our yarn people. We're going to start sending those out next month. So pace yourself. Right now we need them really fast. Do a couple days worth and then stop and take a break and make sure you're pacing yourself, because this is long term. We're going to need them, especially for our medical people. So I thank you, everybody thank you, Cindy. I have not heard from her. So why don't you message me and I will follow up with that. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And like I said, I will post a link to the video below, and I'm going to share this as a video on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, just so everybody has the information they have been asking for. So, all right, great, guys. It is Friday, and enjoy, and thank you so much for your time today.